Alright, we are back. Thank you for staying tuned and welcome back to more AC action. We're gonna be jumping into some AC2 very shortly. But first we're gonna be watching a small short film that Ubisoft has released before the launch of AC2. And that short movie is called Assassin's Creed Lineage and showcases the kind of like background story to the game of AC2. Goes more into the life of the father to Ezio, Giovanni Auditor, and yeah, kind of like his quest to uncover the conspiracy that has befallen in the Renaissance Italy. And for that we have the film first, which is like about 30 minutes. Afterwards I'm also going to be watching the making of, which is like 15 minutes of kind of like interviews with the actors and producers that worked on the movie. So yeah, that's the plan. Let me go ahead and turn on the volume here for Winamp. We can increase the volume for menu. Okay, there we go. I think that should be sufficient. I'm gonna be muted while we watch a movie though, so yeah, I'm gonna be like a chat though and right with you guys there if you guys want to. I wanna like watch a movie uninterrupted, so I'm not gonna be stopping or talking over it. Thank you, Levi. Welcome back as well. Yeah, I would say let's give this a watch.
(1476), the dawn of a new era for Italy. Art, culture, and science are flourishing under the guidance of inspired minds. Renaissance. This is probably the way history will remember us. But in the shadows far from the gold and the knowledge lies another truth. Corruption, betrayal, murder, secrets.
Okay, I'm gonna stop the movie here for a second because of that huge raid. Hey there, SCS, thank you so much for the raid, dude. I hope you had a great stream today. Welcome and everybody from the stream, all the raiders. How's it going? Hey there, Liza. Hey there, Fadam. Hey, Lonik Senpai, how's it going? Also, thank you so much for the follows. I hope you all have a great evening and a good weekend. Yeah, we're currently watching a short movie actually about Assassin's Creed, which is about like 30 minutes. That's kind of why I paused it, because I actually muted for the duration of it. But yeah, we can just take a minute here and continue watching afterwards. But yeah, welcome in everybody. Thank you so much for all the follows, Soccer Boy, Lonik, Eliza, Fadam. Travis, how's it going? Welcome in as well. And yeah, it's going really good, LCS. I've been playing some AC today for Retro Sundays. And yeah, we just finished with the very first Assassin's Creed, like 10 minutes ago or something. So now we're making a start on the second one, and to kind of like get in the mood for it, we're watching a short movie, which Ubisoft actually created with like real life actors. And yeah, it's about like 30 minutes of a backstory to one of the important characters. And it's really well made as well. Like, it looks quite high budget, considering it's like, you know, a short movie for a game. and also being released in like 2009. But yeah, that's kind of what we're doing tonight. And then afterwards we're gonna be jumping into the game as well. But yeah, what have you been playing tonight, SCS? Were you on some T-words? Also, hey there, Kareem92 as well. Thank you also for a follow. Thanks again so much, everybody, for joining and coming over with a raid. Really, really appreciate that. And let me also give a shout out again to LCS as well. For those who may haven't come over with a raid. So we played some balloons tonight. What is that game? I don't think I've heard of it yet. But yeah, for anybody that didn't just join with a raid, definitely check out LCS. He's some really cool dude. Plays quite a lot of T-words, which is also a game I used to play quite a bit back in the day. T-words is kind of like a 2D beaten up, movement focused, kind of like open source game, very community driven, and yeah, he's actually a pretty big streamer in that category. So if that's something you would be interested in, then check it out for sure. We're playing some T-words and ended off with some balloons. Oh yeah, that sounds good, dude. And hey, that's Zweitleben. Welcome in as well. How are you doing? I hope you had a good weekend. So balloons is like a tower defense game. I gotcha. Sounds nice, actually. I used to play a bit of tower defense back on Warcraft 3, actually. But I haven't really played much tower defense since then. But yeah, it really has spawned quite a genre. Quite a few games embracing that kind of like style of gameplay. Pretty chill Zweitleben. That's good to hear, dude. I'm glad. Yeah, also had a pretty chill Wicked myself. Definitely a good one. Watch a few movies and stuff. Your chat got you to play it, started playing it like 1 to 2 weeks ago. I gotcha. Yeah, that's always good. I sometimes also like to get, you know, the viewers to decide what kind of games I play. I haven't done a vote for a bit, but yeah, every now and then I also try to let them decide or kind of like have viewer picks or something. How can your chat do that? I mean, I guess a poll is always very helpful. Kind of like a voting. Hey there, AJ. Welcome back, dude. Just pausing real quick. We just started with Assassin's Creed Lineage, but I got a pretty big rate here from LCS, so I want to take a minute and welcome everybody in. Let me actually turn on some music again. Really nice to stream. You can just sit there and talk to chat and let the game run in the background. That's really good. There's definitely some games where it's way easier talking to chat and, you know, kind of like multitask than others. It's kind of a benefit of the newer AC games with the choices, because you can just like, you know, talk to chat in between the conversation that NPCs have with each other, rather than having to wait until the whole cutscene ends. But yeah. So AJ, have you played more of AC2, or have you taken a break? You went and got pizza, then came back to the game, just got to a villa about to meet Mario. Hell yeah. Yeah, everybody's eating pizza today. I also had one earlier. What kind of pizza have you gotten, AJ? But yeah, I had some mushrooms, ham, and also some jalapenos. But that was basically it. We had spinach and feta. Oh yeah. That's a nice combo. As you're gonna dip now, wish you a lot of fun with the rest of the stream and enjoy the video. Thank you so much. You have a good one as well, dude. Thanks again for dropping by with the raid there. And yeah, hope you have a good night. And catch you next time, dude. Take care. Ah, right. I think I remember you saying that, AJ. Yeah, I remember. So how's that going for you, AJ? Are you missing meat at all? Or is it like very easy to get used to for you? So yeah, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually continue watching the video now, and conversation I'm just gonna answer in chat. So I'm gonna be active in chat, but I'm gonna be muted during the short movie. Yeah, let's continue playing it and get back to Giovanni's story.
Hide them, even from my own family. Family, justice, honor. These are the values guiding my blade. This truth is written in blood, and the shadows are where I strike. I am Giovanni Auditor, and like my ancestors before me, I am an assassin. You're coming with me. Avanti!
I stopped them before they left Florence. Unfortunately, Your Magnificence, the fourth man escaped.
What have you heard, Giovanni?
Rumors about an important event that would cause a shift of power.
That man you captured, has he spoken yet? He will tell us what he knows.
in Milano on the day of Christmas at the High Mass for the feast of Santo Stefano. When the echo of the choir becomes louder at the altar, when the bell rings for the 12th and last time.
Sic transit gloria mundi.
At the altar, the echo of the choir becomes louder. When the bell rings for the 12th and last time, the Duke of Milano will die.
Ezio's learning fast. He reminds me of you.
Ezio, remember, you need to think ahead. Don't wait for your opponent to move. Anticipate. And surprise him.
How are you, Father?
Good, Ezio.
Good. Father.
Federico. Well then, let me see. It's the fair game. His mind must be elsewhere.
With the death of the Duke of Milano, Lorenzo de' Medici has lost a powerful ally. I am sure that his enemies already plot their next move. Sforza's death was not the end. It was just the beginning. And I know where to fight my next battle.
Served us well in the past. That is why we are entrusting you to send this letter to our master.
It's perfect. It's just perfect. After all these years, our time has come, cousin.
Yes. You must protect this letter with your life until it is delivered. Do you understand me?
Go to Campo San Anzolo. Next to the wine merchant, there is a statue. Our man will be waiting for you there.
Do not fail us.
Ti faccio fiducia.
What are your masters plotting? Speak! God as my witness, I will cut your throat.
My life is not yours to take. And my secrets come with me. See you in hell.
Fool.
Requiescat in pace. find anything in Venice?
I intercepted this letter.
Take a look, Your Magnificence. It bears the seal of the Barbarigos.
I never trusted them.
Conferaniere.
An encrypted letter. It will take several hours to unlock its secrets. I'll send for you when it's done, Giovanni. Get some rest. Father Maffei. You broke the code. That's good. I knew you wouldn't disappoint me, Father Maffei. Go fetch Giovanni. Tell him he will need to travel shortly. I will wake Lorenzo. And Father, remember, you owe us your silence. Secrets are born here, and they die here. No one is to know about the content of this letter. Capiche? Good. You can go now.
Per favore, un attimino, Padre Maffei. Grazie.
Come back to us soon, huh?
I promise.
Our son is watching.
I know.
You should talk to him.
I will.
Tell me, Papa, why is it that a banker leaves so often in the middle of the night?
Business calls, son.
I may come with you.
No.
Why not?
I need you to assist your brother. Take care of the family while I'm away.
I want to help you, Father.
You're helping more than you know, Ezio. More than you know.
Because we broke the seal of the original letter, we had to make an exact copy. Father Raimondi is working on one as we speak.
Why?
We were unable to decipher it. The only way to unlock the secrets of this letter and find out who masterminded Sforza's assassination is to deliver it and see where it will lead us.
Your Magnificence, I know exactly where in Rome the Barbarigos wanted the letter to be delivered. I can go.
Father Maffei, is it ready?
Rome is a dangerous city, my dear Giovanni. Are you sure you want to carry out this mission without any help?
Yes, for the safety of Florence and the honor of the Medici.
So be it. Go and find the pit where these snakes hide. And be merciless.
Father of understanding, be with us. Amen.
Has Rodrigo Borgia become a messenger now?
More necessary, Your Holiness. The death of the Duke of Milano changes many things.
Is it really?
The alliances of men are fragile. Even the cities can change hands as easily as money. As long as God is on our side.
Amen. I am told that Lorenzo de' Medici does not show much respect for our position.
That is true. But you could force them to obey you. Florence is weak now. We should take advantage of it. With your help.
It's not part of my office to consent to the death of anyone. But my concern is the greater good of the Republic of Florence. Therefore, I am prepared to offer my spiritual support and military help to ensure order is maintained. Preserve the honor of the Holy See, Rodrigo.
You can count on me, Your Holiness.
Looking for the man who just came in. You must have seen him. Where did he go?
It has been very quiet here today. I have seen no other man besides you.
The hood covers his face. He wore black clothes.
I cannot help you. Maybe God can. Pray. And you will find the answer.
Your blade won't be enough, assassin. What happens now is up to you. You have a unique set of skills, Giovanni. That's your name, isn't it? A set of skills I'd be delighted to have on my side.
What side is that?
The side that is going to win a war you don't even know has begun yet. The world is changing under your feet, Giovanni. Join us, and you may live to see it.
Borgia. Yes, I know your name too. I also know how this is going to end. With your fantasy in ruins, an assassin's blade in your throat.
We shall see. He's all yours. Get him!
That blade almost pierced your heart. You haven't spoken a word since you've returned. What's going on, Giovanni?
Sforza's assassination was just the beginning. This is a vast conspiracy, Maria. I'm pretty sure the next step will occur here in Florence.
Madonna mia.
I'm concerned for De Medici's safety, for his allies' fate, and for our own.
Papa! Father Maffei is here. He wants you to come with him immediately. He's not alone. Armed men are with him.
Calmati, figliolo.
Why would Lorenzo de' Medici send guards for you? Why?
I don't know. Go back and tell Maffei that I'm already gone. Buy me some time, Federico. I'm depending on you. You're the eldest. Protect the family. Go.
told you, my father isn't here. Now. And don't ever doubt the words of an Auditore again. Leave this place now.
L'unica soluzione è che l'assassino deve essere assassinato immediatamente. Calm down!
Our main problem is that damned assassin!
His investigation threatens our plans.
Don't worry. I'll deal with Giovanni. I've already got something in mind. And then, nothing will stand in our way anymore.
Where's this from?
My dear sons, dark skies are rising over Florence and time is running low. The enemy is closer than I thought. Now, the final battle is about to unfold. Every man is mortal. Every life comes to an end. But certain things will never change. Federico and Ezio, my sons, always remember. We are the Auditori di Firenze, and we are assassins.
Right, here we go. It is Assassin's Creed Lineage by Ubisoft. But yeah, that's not quite the end of our watching party here. I also want to see the behind the scenes for the short movie where they basically interview all the actors, producers and everybody who worked on the short movie. It's gonna be interesting because it's kind of like both an insight into the movie but also into the game, because as I mentioned earlier, a lot of the actors were actually cast for both the short movie and the game. So yeah, it's really like a behind the scenes for both media there. Yeah, exactly, Levi. It's like...
Bene. Now I have a way back up in case I fall.
That's you saying it. Can't wait until I hear it in-game myself. But yeah, it's quite interesting, this like backstory to AC2, focusing more on Ezio's father, but really setting up all the villains that you're going to meet in the main game, or at least most of them. And at the same time, it's kind of like uncovering that there's already a conspiracy going on. So you go into the game of AC2 not really with, you know, a too positive feeling of what's gonna happen. But yeah, let's have a look at the making of. I think it's like 10 to 15 minutes or so.
Assassin's Creed was one of the biggest hits of the 2007 holiday season. We sold more than 8 million copies of the first game. And now we're just coming out with the second one. Assassin's Creed 2 is taking place in Italy this time around. Desmond is going through the life of somebody else. It's called Ezio Auditore da Firenze. And this ancestor is now an Italian nobleman at the beginning of the game, and he'll become a master assassin throughout his adventure of Assassin's Creed 2.
We got together in Paris, brainstormed a bunch of different ideas, and finally decided that we thought it would be most interesting to focus on the events leading up to the beginning of our game, to give a sense of, what family life in the Auditore household was like, and then also hint at the beginnings of the conspiracy that our hero is going to discover once the game kicks off.
If you want to understand exactly some scenes in the game about, between the characters, you have to look for the movie. You have to watch it, and then you'll understand why the mother says one thing, why the father reacts that way, for example. So it gives more, and it's more content.
Let's talk about the corporate side of the original challenge that was proposed by Ubisoft to start on a project. Very quickly, Assassin came as a very good project to start with. The game was already started. They were working on it very, very hard, and the idea came to do a series of episodes as a short movie, able to be connected between each other, where background might be used directly from the game as an import to start, and after that we came with the proposition to use live actor to humanize mainly the film, and to do what we're built for. Mainly what we're used to is putting live actor on top of a CGI background.
Since our story does focus a great deal, at least initially, on the concept of vengeance, who became apparent to us very early on, is that for this to work, the player, much like Ezio, has to grow attached to his family. And I think that's when, the idea of doing something like the films became very appealing to us, because it provided us with another way to further expand Ezio's backstory, in a different medium, in a way where we didn't have to concern ourselves as much with gameplay. We could focus entirely on character and story and universe building.
I hope that the product will have some impact on the gamer when he will start and he had the chance to see the 3 episodes. And I know that through the experience to making this movie also, we will be able to give our input to the game people that are generating and telling and inventing their story. You need to realize that the gamer is having his feeling by the way that he's playing. He generates his own excitement. A film, you're kind of passive, you're there, and the film is there to generate the emotion.
What was cool to have a movie being done while we were doing the game is that we could use some of the casting they did and put it in our game. So, for example, the father is basically the same guy. We just use his face and everything, and we had a recording session with him, but he's the same guy as you see in the movie. And that's pretty cool. That helped us out a lot, because sometimes it's tough to create a character from scratch, and actors, that's what they do. They create characters.
And as far as being part of a game, being in the game is very thrilling, very exciting. I feel like I'm in the part of something that's on the cutting edge. Technology is always evolving, and looking at Houston back there, we know that we're backed up with something that's going to be supporting all that. And you look at the costume, which is actual.
The detail.
You can feel it.
Être acteur réel à travers un jeu, waouh, c'est comme dire, bon, ben alors parfait, lui maintenant je sais que c'est lui le salaud, lui c'est le gars qu'il faut éviter, ça ce sont les embûches.
If a writer, whoever, my 12-year-old, my 19-year-old, or you start to write a story and you ask me, okay, put life into it, that's our job. It's our purpose.
And we have to give it life. How do we give it life? Well, you got to find the truth of the character. Where does it begin? Well, in this case, it begins with the game. That's the script.
I don't think of it as like preparing for a role for a video game. I think of it just preparing for a role in general, because it's filming and it's just like any other project, except it's going to be changed into the video game.
Whatever it may be, if it's a story and we need to reenact it, it's the same principle.
Je pense que quand l'humain propose une émotion, qu'il y a quelque chose qui brille dans son œil, où il y a un pli qui se fait au moment d'une réflexion, ou le mouvement du visage, la pureté de l'être humain pour exprimer une émotion, je pense que ça va apporter quelque chose de richissime au jeu.
By seeing these three preludes, if you wish, these three stories that are going to impregnate the players with emotion, with attachment, with a relationship to the characters.
You hit something that really resonates, and that's emotional attachment. That goes back to storytelling. You know, if gamers playing the game, maybe non-gamers that will see this might be interested in the game.
The video game aspect is not making a big difference, except for the fact that we need to sort of respect certain things that they're establishing in their world. We need to sort of keep that going. But that's about it. The rest is really about trying to tell a story the same way we would in a traditional environment. What is very different is the way we're going to produce that story. Now we're starting with some of the environments that were developed for the game, so totally virtual. And the questions were, is it going to hold in the movie world? 5 to 10% to produce of real things to produce for each scene. The rest was all going to be virtual. So what are you going to do? What do you need to provide to the director or to the actors and to the NASA team so that they will have enough information that they can work? A street, for example. What do you put in the street? You know, a big room with big windows. What do you build? There's a fireplace there. So you have to find a way to determine what's going to be essential for the actors, for the technicians, for the director, and for the post teams. 2 teams working on different things. And that was part of the exercise for the departments. For the production designer, for the costume designer. They had to work differently than what we normally do.
We have a new way to be able to project the virtual environment imported from the game that just don't exist. Well, when you think about it, it's difficult for actor to be able to give a performance in an environment that they have no idea where they're coming from, what it is, what is the size of the room, including the stunts, because they are obviously rehearsing and they don't have any limit with wall, but you need to find a way to be sure that during their action they're not passing through a virtual wall.
Very often, instead of doing the traditional way of shooting, you're going to rotate the actors, change the doors, change the windows, just basically revolve the whole world and keep the crew in the same position. And it's very abstract.
Like the idea we had mainly is to come with the projector, which is on top, and we are projecting the room on the floor. Like when it's time for all of the team to set up the environment and know where the wall need to be, where the table is supposed to be, where the fireplace is supposed to be, we're using this projection and we don't have anything to measure anymore. And when you do that, you are forced to render and to do some layout as architects, obviously, to project what is going to be the room. Like we can project a decent size in this, and we can orient the projector depending on the kind of shots we're dealing with. And obviously, this is why the team in the background are also checking and validating that on a shot-by-shot base to be sure that we're not doing mistake during the shooting, that we're going to find when we'll start to do the integration later. This project is very demanding post-production-wise. Obviously, it is a shoot which is entirely done on green screen, which means at the moment you see an actor, you know that it was on green screen, and there's no shot that exists in that movie where post-production was not involved. There will be 750 shots, mainly roughly, if you count the 3 episodes together. It means that we have 750 different environment angles to produce, and we have to do the preparation and to do all of the pipeline steps. The first thing you have to do is to do the preparation of all of these clips, and it's a tough part of the process and the pipeline because you need to get rid of all of the different green dots, tracking mark, everything on the set that was there that need to be erased to have a very, very good green environment to make the integration in the future smoother and easier. In parallel, you have a team of trackers that are using some information from the green screen to be able to extrapolate how the two cameras were moving in space. Like all of these people are taking shot by shot base, they analyze the picture and they providing some kind of camera move file saying, okay, this is how the camera was moving in space. It's because if you have the pretension and the ambition to put all of these people on a future environment as the inside of a church, and the camera is moving with a very complex move, you are expecting that the environment is going to move exactly perfectly and tracking perfectly the original shooting from the green screen. This is what the tracking people are doing. After that, they're the layout, knowing that when a camera was shooting, what was the camera angle, the height, what is the real position of the environment to make the geometry work. Like all of these steps are done in parallel. After that, the 3D people, no matter what, they have a pretty good idea and the modeling have done on these environments. They need to finish all of the details on these environments and moving with texture. And after that, giving life texture-wise to these environments from a film point of view and to give mood to it. You are compositing the live action on top of virtual background that now are moving perfectly in relation with the original camera movement. And you put these two things together. Sometimes it's 3 layouts, 4, 5. Sometimes we have 17 layouts to be able to reach our goal. And at the end, after there will be another process, it will be what we call a DI, which is a digital intermediate. We're going to move all of the one episode entirely and start a session of color correction when we will, shot by shot, readjust and fine-tuning all of the chroma, all of the mood, all of the ambience to get to the final result.
So we have more than only one setting available for us. That made the universe much bigger and much richer. Let's say the entire history with a big H is now available to us to make a game or a movie or TV series or whatever we want to make, books and comics, whatever we want to do in this universe of this formidable machine that let us relive the life of an ancestor. And that's really is the core of Assassin's Creed.
Ubisoft are storytellers. We are in a position that the gamer will be passive when he will take a look on our film. But we need also to participate in the storytelling. We are the potential to prepare him. And when he will see the film series, he will get a much better preparation to start his game. He's going to know mainly the character before he already start the game. He'll know things, he will know details. He will probably realize things that he already knows, but he doesn't realize he knows that yet. And I believe that it's a new way to prepare, but it's still a self-content project.
We know now logistically how to approach it in a much better way. It's much clearer. Technically, even creatively, we have much more specifics now that we're going to go through next time. And this is only the very beginning. We can tell. It's only the very beginning of something that promises to be very, very big and exciting.
Right, that was the making of Assassin's Creed Lineage. But interesting actually, the way the movie and the game kind of like influence each other, like how they use actual models of like the buildings and stuff from the game that they created for it, and actually managed to insert it for the short movie. kind of interesting. And then of course how the game developers, you know, kind of like got inspired by the short movie for their own story, and how it kind of like added to the beginning of the game story with Ezio and his family. But yeah, that's everything I wanna watch from the DVD. So let's go ahead and head out of this. And then it's time to start the one and only game. Indeed, Levi, indeed. Finally, we will be back. Okay, let me just get OBS to also capture the game. There we go. Okay, let's actually see if waiting in the main screen will play the trailer. Because usually if you wait a little bit, at least for a few of the AC games, it will after a while play like the main E3 trailer for the game. And yeah, the one for AC2 is really good actually. But yeah, already in chat you can see the things we're gonna be doing for our AC2 playthrough. So essentially it's gonna be a completionist run with the optional kind of like treasures. But yeah, we're gonna be doing all the viewpoints of the assassin tombs, including the Templar lairs, but also the Auditor crypt. We're gonna be doing all the glyphs, so that is like these messages left behind by Clay, and that kind of like tell us more about who in history also possessed pieces of Eden. Then we're gonna have the feathers, which basically unlock secret dialogues, but also a very important kind of like lore item, I guess you could say. More like family story related item. Then of course we're gonna be watching all the target videos, so kind of like the short summaries about the targets and their intentions. And actually head into here. Maybe that triggers the trailer. Then we're gonna be doing all the beat-ups, so all the unfaithful husbands are gonna get their asses kicked. All the races, all the assassination contracts, all the career missions, including the letters that we get from them. And alright, I basically also included all treasures, never mind. So it is essentially a completionist run, like we're gonna be doing all the activities to hopefully get 100%. Actually not sure if we can get 100% because Ubisoft turned off their online servers for AC2 like half a year ago. Which means technically you can't access the Auditor crypt and stuff anymore. However, we can. Because I still have my full completion save and my in-depth save, and they actually have these memories still because we already have done them on the save. Which means if we can't access them from our main session, we can just access one of these save files and replay them on there. Which is good because it provides us with a way to replay these memories, hopefully in the future, if I get to keep the saves and kind of like the game folder. But yeah, it's really crappy how they basically don't allow new players to, you know, access that kind of like content. Because it means you won't be getting to 100% completion either. Like, it's literally preventing you from reaching that. But yeah, we're also gonna be doing a whole lot of reading. We wanna be reading all the database entries. Also all the codex pages, which I'm gonna be reading throughout the game rather than all at the end. Or I might be doing it throughout and again at the end. And also all the letters as well that we're gonna find throughout the game and the playthrough. Yeah, let me have a look into very quick. Okay, sounds good. So if you try to log into the Ubisoft server, they're like, nope, can't do that. Actually, it's not like letting me get out of this. One of it just like fails after a while and you get to go back to the main menu. Well, I think we're literally stuck on the screen. Well then, I guess we gotta restart the game. Right, let's go ahead and create a new save game. Let's just call it 2022. Okay, so it's gonna give us like a quick kind of like recap of what happened in the first game. Then we basically continue right away where we left off in AC1 earlier. So yeah, let's do this.
My name is Desmond Miles. I'm a prisoner of war. A war I never knew existed, waged by two groups I never thought were real. Templars and Assassins. The Animus showed me the truth. The things I've seen, the things I've been. 1,000 years of history flowing through my veins, brought to life by this machine. They're using me to search for something. Call it the Apple. It's an artifact, one of many so-called pieces of Eden. The Templars collect them. It's how they stay in power. And if the Templars get their hands on another one, everything will change. They want to make us all their slaves. When they first brought me here, I was afraid of what would happen if I tried to fight back. Now? Now I'm afraid of what will happen if I don't. But I can't do it alone. And maybe I don't have to. I met someone. Her name is Lucy. I think she's on my side. She's gone now. She's taken away by that bastard Warren Vidic and his Templar masters. I don't know what will happen to her, or what'll happen to me. All I know is I need to get out of here. And I need to do it soon. My name is Desmond Miles, and this is my story.
Right, there we go. Starting directly where we left off with AC1. And now we can take some time to actually look at these symbols that Clay has written on the wall. So to the top left you actually see the Earth and a comet striking the Earth. Which is kind of like, you know, a hint towards what will happen on the 21st of December if Desmond can't prevent that from happening. And then he has written here, we are all books containing thousands of pages, and within each of them lies an irreparable truth. So, I guess it's kind of like talking about, you know, how every time, you know, like each ancestor that you have is kind of like adding to the book that you are, technically, because your genes are the memories of all of the ancestors, so each page is like a different life essentially. We have the Omega symbol, also hinting towards the end. We have a symbol in the middle, which is basically two things that are the same but opposite from each other. So like the beginning and the end. The end of the world is kind of like the beginning of a new world order that the Templars seek. But a whole lot of symbols here from the Far East, which is where Clay also went into for his memories. Then he also says something about the Animus, essentially, calling it the Abyss here. I've entered the Abyss and never returned. So like, you know, him going to the Animus was like his demise. Kind of like heading towards, I guess, his mental state, where the Animus changed quite a lot. Because the Templars really didn't care too much about his well-being. So they essentially just set him into the Animus and made him experience the lives of countless of ancestors, not only one. So at some point he just had really trouble kind of like differentiating between all the different memories and realities that he has witnessed. And that's one of the reasons why he performed or committed suicide, because he found no way out of here anymore and he was literally, you know, losing his mind.
We have to go.
Lucy, where have you been? Why did they...
Now!
With a graphical upgrade from AC1 to 2.
Get in.
What's with the blood? Are you okay?
Look, we have maybe 10 minutes, maybe, before they figure out what I've done. If we're not out of here and on the road before then...
Wait, we're leaving?
Desmond, I promise I'll answer all of your questions later. But right now, I need you to just shut up and do what I say. So please, get in the Animus.
All right.
Spingi! Spingi! Di nuovo! Sì, sì, brava! It is a boy.
Oh, my love. Mi dispiace. I was at the bank when they told me. Did I miss it? Am I too late? Give him here.
Giovanni.
Shh, my love. It will be all right. Tu sei un auditore. Sei un combattente. Perciò, combatti.
Damn. What a way to introduce the character. Literally with a birth. One thing I love about AC2 is how they have, like, you know, them literally speaking Italian and you get the translation with subtitles. Kind of like how it's like a mix of like both English and Italian, you know. It means you can also pick up on like a few words, like some insults. Always a good way to learn the language through like insults.
Listen to him. A fine set of lungs.
And what shall we call him, my love?
Ezio. Ezio Auditor da Firenze.
Yeah, same here, Levi. The first time I played it on mouse and keyboard, I had like no idea which button they wanted me to press. Took me like ages to figure that out.
Let's go.
But yeah, just another example how it's like made for controller.
There isn't time, Desmond. We have to leave.
Really getting out of here, huh? Sturgo's got some fucked up interior decorators.
Stay close.
Hey! You're not supposed to be up here! Open this door! I'm calling it in. We have a breach in the research wing. I repeat, there's been a breach in the research wing. Requesting
here.
backup
Nice
from
walls.
all available...
Fancy. Boy, these...
There they are! Don't let them get away!
Holy shit!
Yeah. Lucy got some skills.
Look at this place. What about the cameras?
I rigged them to loop old footage. How do you think I managed to hide all your nighttime snooping from Abstergo?
You're good.
So I've been told. But they're on to us now. We need to hurry. Careful. We need to get to that elevator on the other side of the room. Follow my lead, but keep an eye out for security. I'd rather avoid a fight.
It's time for a strove.
Is that an Animus?
Yes, indeed.
Wait. Careful.
What the? How many of them are there?
Hold on.
But I thought it was kind of a reveal that, you know, it's much bigger than you initially thought.
Animuses or animi? What do you think, Lucy? Lucy, what do they need with all of them?
Desmond, shut the fuck up. Please. Fuck. I thought this card would work. It must be on a separate system, and I don't have the code.
Wait.
Time for Eco-Vision.
Come on.
The thing Desmond got from synchronizing with ITE and AC1.
How did you do that?
I don't know.
Let's go. It's always something.
What was that in the Animus? Subject 16? Ezio, Audi something?
I think we've been wrong all along. That's why we need to get out of here. Vidic and the Templars, they're only part of the problem.
What do you mean?
I'll explain when we get there.
Get where?
Oh boy. Time for a fist fight. We don't have counter yet, so we gotta only use deflect and attack AC1 style. Take my knee to your head.
Get in.
You're joking.
It's for your own protection.
Oh, man.
We're almost there.
Thanks for that. It was great. Being shoved in the trunk, bouncing around. Love
This
it.
way.
So, gonna tell me what's going on now?
There was a reason for the escape, Desmond.
Figures.
We need your help.
For what? Another treasure hunt through time?
Abstergo's gonna replace their Apple of Eden. The map your ancestor found guarantees it. The other assassins, they'll do what they can, where they can, but
What? What is it?
we're losing this war, Desmond. The Templars are too powerful. And every day, more of us die.
I still don't see how I fit into things.
We're going to train you. Turn you into one of us.
What? No. No, you've seen me in action. I'm no good at this, and even if I was, it would take months. Years even.
No. Not with the Animus. Not with the bleeding effect.
But I'm just one guy.
Sometimes, that's all you need.
So that's why you found him. My ancestor. What was his name? Ezio?
If you can follow in his footsteps, you'll learn everything he did, just like he did. Years of training, absorbed in a matter of days.
You broke me out of Abstergo and brought me here just to make me an assassin?
Look, there's more to it than that, but it'll have to wait. Trust me, okay?
All right, I'm in. Tell me what you need.
Really? You're sure?
I thought you'd be happy about this.
Sorry, I'm just a little surprised. I spent the whole ride over here figuring out how I was gonna convince you to do this.
Save it. After what those Templar bastards put me through, I'm ready, willing, and able.
Thank you.
Ah ja, Lucy. Not so manipulative assassin slash Templar. But yeah, she basically brought us to the assassins. However, there's also no way for us to get out of this facility, so we're not very free at this moment. But the idea is, of course, to first introduce us to the group, for them to make sure that they can also trust us and our intentions. Given that Desmond has been running away from, you know, the assassins, and he, like him getting abducted by the Templars as well, would obviously cast some suspicion on Desmond.
Lucy, you made it. God, it's been so long. 7 years, can you believe it?
Indeed. Welcome back. Ah, so this must be the infamous Subject 17. Desmond Miles, was it?
Who are you?
I'm sorry, where are my manners? I'm Sean Hastings. This is Rebecca Crane.
Nice to meet you, Desmond.
Right, well, it's been lovely chatting, but if you don't mind, Desmond, it's best we get straight to work. Time is precious. Doubly so these days.
We've got everything set up and ready, Lucy. Just say the word and we'll get going.
Here, I brought you something. A parting gift from Abstergo.
Whoa! The memory core! This is amazing. With their data, things are gonna go a lot faster. I'll get to work on merging the code.
Yeah, sounds good, Levi. I hope you have a good night and also good rest. I wish you all the best tomorrow for your first day. And yeah, definitely gonna talk and speak to you very soon. Also, hey, Hero. Thank you for a shout out there to Levi. Welcome in, dude. Okay, let's go ahead and talk to all the modern day characters, kind of like get introduced to everybody. But first we're gonna talk to Lucy. Giovanni Auditor. I like that. Yeah, it's going pretty good, dude. We just finished AC1 earlier and still had a bit of time left, so we went ahead and also watched Assassin's Creed Lineage. Kind of prepares for AC2, and yeah, now we're just directly at the start of this gem of game, as Levi said. I'm very excited to be back into it, because at this point it's been like almost a year since I last played it, which, you know, for me is a long time not to play this game. So yeah, very, very excited. Just listening to Jasper Kidd's music here already puts me into the mood. But yeah, how's it going for you, Hiro? Hope you had a good weekend.
Hey, listen. I just wanted to say thank you. And that I'm sorry.
Sorry?
Yeah, you know, before. Everything at Abstergo. It was just... I wasn't ready.
It's okay.
No. Going through all that. Knowing that the Templars still exist, what they're planning.
What's done is done, Desmond. You're here now, and that's what matters.
Yeah, dude, exactly. And Valhalla really took me such a long time. Like, I played it over a course of like 3 months or so. So yeah, it took away quite a bit of time. But it was also very, very good. Just had some family time chilling now. Oh yeah. That sounds very nice indeed.
Lucy, I've been seeing things. Symbols in my bedroom. The code on the keypad. Just like Altair.
It's from the bleeding effect. You're taking on more than your ancestors' memories. You're taking on their skills, too. In this case, eagle vision.
Skills?
You're more receptive now. So if all goes well, everything Ezio learns in the Animus, you'll learn too.
You really think this will work? That I'll become an assassin?
You already are an assassin. You'll just be better at it.
Yeah, hopefully much better at it. I mean, seriously, I saw the tapes from Abstergo. He didn't even try and escape.
What a dick.
I like how Desmond's first impression of Sean is what a dick. Because, yeah, he can be a dick sometimes, but he also has very good intentions, and Desmond and Sean will eventually grow very close and become very good friends as well. But yeah, my first impression of Sean also was like, you know, what a douche, but that changed very quickly.
Sorry, Desmond. I've got some stuff to take care of. We can talk more later. I think Rebecca's waiting for you.
Hey, Desmond. What's up?
Just wondering what your role is in all this.
I take care of Baby. It's my job to keep her up and running.
Baby? You mean the Animus?
Actually, I prefer Animus 2.0, since Baby's twice as awesome as anything you'll find at Abstergo. The Templars might have deeper pockets than us, but they've got no ambition, no passion, no competitive edge. That's why, even with all their resources, anything they can do, I can do better. Faster, too. Anyway, take a seat when you're ready, and we can get started. I just need to make a few more adjustments.
I kind of like the difference in form of the Animus, right? Because it looks much more comfortable than the one at Abstergo did. And I think it makes sense because the assassins are more interested in, you know, keeping their Animus subjects, I guess, or Animus, like people that you know, use the Animus of the assassins, kind of like keep them in good conditions, I guess. Try to not ruin their back, because you know, the Templars don't really care about it too much. They just want to get the memories and afterwards kill off their subjects, like they would have done with Clay. So yeah, kind of makes sense for the assassin to use an Animus that's like more comfortable.
Sorry, can't talk now.
What's all this stuff for?
This stuff, Desmond? Oh, this stuff is nothing special, really, this stuff. It's just the stuff that keeps our entire operation from falling apart, really. It requires a great deal of concentration to keep it all moving, so you'll forgive me if I don't have time to play meet and greet.
Sean's in charge of maintaining our knowledge archives. It's like a digital library. He'll be riding shotgun with me while you're in the Animus. So if you come across anything of note, people, places, events, etc., he'll create database entries you can consult for additional information.
Yeah, it's not just databases, though. I also provide tactical support for the other assassins. You know, Desmond, the ones who are out there, actually doing stuff, risking their lives, little things like that.
The voice actor for Sean is actually Danny Wallace. He's also the writer of several books, including Yes Men, which also has been adapted into a movie starring Jim Carrey in the main role. Basically about a guy who's gotten very cynical about life and who just says no to everything. But then he meets an old friend of his, and he's kind of like telling him about this like self-help group or something. And he goes to the meetings, and they kind of have a philosophy of saying yes to everything. And he then starts to say, you know, yes to every question he gets asked, which puts him in a very weird spot sometimes, but also opens up a lot of opportunities. It's kind of like about this thought experiment of what would happen if you would just say yes to every question that's being asked of you. And yeah, definitely, you know, changes the life of a protagonist quite a lot. Or he also realizes by the end that, you know, you shouldn't say yes to everything, but you should probably be a bit more open-minded about some things you would say no to beforehand. And yeah, it's a book that Danny Wallace, the voice actor for Sean, actually has written among a lot of other books. And it being adapted into like a Hollywood movie should also tell you a bit about some of his reach. Yeah, it's great they got him for the game, because he definitely, it's more than just playing Sean, he's also like playing himself a little bit. You can, like, if you watch interviews of Danny Wallace, you definitely see a lot of parallels between the role and the actual person.
Hello, Desmond. Go away. Please, mate, bother someone else, okay? I've got stuff to do. What part of I am busy don't you understand? Is it the I bit? That refers to me. Is it the am bit? That's like a doing thing. Is it that I'm busy? I'm busy.
Oh god, I love Sean.
Lucy, what's wrong with this guy? I think he's stalking me. Hello, Desmond. Go away.
Right, I think it's time to head into the Animus. Let's do this.
So how does this work? Of course.
Deep breath.
Ah! Oh, what are you, a tiny child?
Sean!
Well...
Here we go.
Repubblica Fiorentina, 1476.
Insieme per la vittoria! Insieme! Insieme! Silenzio, my friends! Silenzio! Grazie. Do you know what brings us here tonight? Honor. Viere de Pazzi slanders my family's name and forces his own miseries upon us. If we...
Enough of your nonsense, Grullo!
Buonasera, Vienna. We were just talking about you. I'm surprised to see you here. I thought the Pazzi hired others to do their dirty work.
It's your family that cries for guards when there's trouble, Gottardo. Afraid to handle things yourself?
Your sister seemed quite satisfied with the handling I gave her earlier.
Uccidetelo!
And that's how Ezio gets his scar. Yeah, it's kind of funny how they introduce Ezio here, right? Like, he's kind of like the leader personality, he's kind of like funny, you know, with like the comment he made about his sister. And he's also kind of like charming, so immediately, you know, you have a lot of qualities that people, I guess, can sympathize with. And they also create a very different character than Altair has been, right? Like, Ezio is very much about his way with words and, you know, his charm, I guess, and also being a bit on the funny side, I guess. Whereas Altair is a bit more stoic and kind of like reserved and, you know, only talks really when it's like about information or something like that, which makes Altair a really good assassin. But obviously Ezio at this point isn't one. And he also hasn't been grown up to be an assassin the way Altair did. So. Rate the new Bonobo album. That's an interesting question. I've only listened to a handful of tracks so far. Because I don't think the Bonobo album is out yet over here. I thought it was like the 40th of January or something. However, I actually have the vinyl pre-ordered, so I'm gonna get the Bonobo vinyl on release day, hopefully. But yeah, the few tracks that I listened to, like Rosewood for instance, I really enjoyed so far. Which is kind of a reason why I got it pre-ordered as well. But yeah, I'm a huge Bonobo fan, so I got most of his vinyls. What about you, Acrosi? Have you listened to all of the tracks yet? Boys will be boys. Fight Fiore the Pazzi's men.
Behind you!
Federico! What are you doing here?
I wanted to see if baby brother had finally learned how to fight.
And?
You have style. But endurance is what counts. Let's see how many of them you can ruin before they get the best of you.
Ist jetzt so.
Let's finish this. Come now, for me.
Prophet taunts there.
It's a fight, Fesso. Try fighting for a change. Say, Lea. Fall back! Fall back!
Hold on.
What? We've almost won this.
Your lip.
Just a scratch.
Let the doctor decide.
It's not necessary. Besides, I've no money for this doctor of yours.
Wasted it on women and wine, huh?
I'd hardly call it wasted. Lend me some florins then. Or have you done the same?
Search them. There's bound to be something in their pockets.
But like 5 new tracks on Spotify, I guess it's half an album that will be released later. Yeah, I think so. I think it's about 10 tracks, maybe a bit more. But yeah, I'm always super excited for some Bonobo. He's just such a great artist. Listening to him for ages. Hey Vitor, welcome in dude. Indeed, yeah. back to this gem of a game. We just started with a story, so super early into it.
Va bene. That should be enough. Let's get out of here before the guards arrive.
I love this quest completed sound.
Leave at once, depraved creature.
Started playing Valhalla today, ACS gun full-blown RPG. Yeah, no kidding. I've really embraced the RPG mechanics a lot in the last two games. But Valhalla really finds a good balance, I think, between AC and RPG. Yeah, Orlok, yeah, I played quite a bit actually. You like it so far? Yes, I think I looted all of them. He's like, what's happening here?
Let go! Perdonami, Dio! Whatever I did to deserve this punishment, I'm sorry! Che diavolo! Release me! Leave me alone! I swear! I have nothing to do with anything!
I have nothing to do with anything. Okay, let's have a look into the menu here. So we're currently in 1476. First sequence, ignorance is bliss. Do we have any database entries? Yes, we have Ezio. Spent 50 minutes playing the dice game and you lost. What's the point in doing it? Ah, I gotcha, Tor. Yeah, so what's really useful is to kind of like try to get these token dices every time you can. So basically, once you have a choice to get the dices that have like these borders, I would go for them and then try to use the hero power or kind of like God favor that deals damage to the enemy. That's how you can win most of the games. But the point in doing it is, I guess, to get money, but also to get better God favor so you can have an easier time playing the game later on. But you don't really have to play it if you don't enjoy it. Like, it's no big loss if you don't and just skip it. No worries, Max. Have a good night, dude. Ezio Auditore. Date of birth 1459. Profession, student, noble. In a diary entry from 1474, Maria Auditore, one of the great Florentine chroniclers and Ezio's mother, describes her son as competitive, stubborn and loudmouthed, but so passionate that it is impossible to fault him for anything. Complaints to the city guard by several noble patricians seem to suggest that he was also something of a womanizer. Tutored by the great banker Giovanni Tornabuoni, Ezio's school record sees around the age of 17, at which point his name is connected with some terrible crime. It is impossible to discern what it could be from the records. There's very little here, but afterwards Ezio drops out of history entirely, as if he never existed. Firenze. Founded by Julius Caesar in 59 BCE, Florentina, as it was called by the Romans, quickly became a center of commerce. After the sacking of Rome in the 5th century, the Ostrogoths took over. Under their rule, the city was constantly under attack from the Byzantines, who sent the population level below 1,000. The Lombards came to power in the 6th century, ending the Byzantine assaults. Florence grew to a population of 80,000 in the 14th century, of which 25,000 were working in the wool industry. In 1378, a major revolt of the lower class led to the wool combers rising up and seizing the government of the city. Their progressive radical democracy lasted for less than 2 months before the upper classes seized control once more. But the revolt so terrified the rich that a century later it was still discussed in hushed tones, much as the 1960s hippie movement is today. The Albizzi family became the de facto rulers of the Reward, right above the rise of the Medici family, who were newly rich bankers rapidly gaining influence in Florence. Maso and Rinaldo Albizzi imprisoned Cosimo de' Medici and exiled him in 1433. But Cosimo gained influence behind the scenes and rose to power in 1434, exiling the entire Albizzi family except for Luca, who had been loyal to Cosimo. Luca Albizzi joined the Signoria, the ruling body of Florence, as Gonfaloniere, succeeding Cosimo's old friend Ilario Auditore in 1442. Under the Medici family, which built impressive public buildings and supported such luminaries as Michelangelo, Leonardo, and Botticelli, the Renaissance began with Florence securely at its center. Then we have the Ponte Vecchio, which is basically the bridge where the conflict just started. It's also one of the most famous bridges of Italy. This famous bridge spans the Arno at its narrowest point. The original version was presumably constructed by the Romans, but the first written records only appear in 996. Two previous incarnations of the bridge were swept away in floods before the present structure was built in 1345. The tower was built at the southeast corner to defend it. The bridge consists of three segmental arches. It has always had shops lining the central passageway, a feature which seems extraordinary now but was common during the Renaissance. At first, butchers took up residence there, but over time they were pushed out by jewelers, souvenir shops, and creepy teenagers, chaining locks to the bridge's railing and throwing the keys into the river in a bid for eternal love, not realizing that the locks would be cut off later that day by a disgruntled polizia. Everlasting indeed. Yeah. But yeah, it's really cool because this actually still stands in Florence, so they could go there and kind of like scan and photograph the building and incorporate it into the game quite easily that way. That's why it's also quite accurate to the, you know, how it is nowadays. Okay, then we have the San Giovanni district, which is where we currently are located. San Giovanni was named after Saint John the Baptist, the patron saint of Florence. It is the oldest area of the city and the center of administration, encompassing the Palazzo della Signoria. If big churches are your thing, head to Santa Maria del Fiore on the northern edge. It's the one with a gigantic dome. And yeah, that's all the database entries we have currently. Damn, got off his as a weapon. Also have medicine, at least possibly. Could actually equip the ITE outfit. That would be kind of weird. Yeah, not gonna do that, but it's kind of funny that you can. Federico Auditore. Born 1456, profession, student and noble. Ezio's older brother and the eldest Auditore, Federico entered the Medici Bank as a clerk when he was 19. However, the bank logs indicate he mostly dicked around rather than actually working. One entry goes into detail. On September 17, 1475, the Bank of Gold of Florence went missing. After panic struck the bank, the elder Auditore approached Francesco Sassetti and with a smile revealed the location of the bag, which had been hidden on the rooftop. If you weren't the son of Giovanni Auditore, I would speak to Lorenzo de' Medici and have him put in the stocks. Unsurprisingly, Federico was removed from the bank's payroll shortly after his 20th birthday. So, he's not really interested in the classic life path, I guess, of having like a solid job and doing reasonable things. It's, I guess, a free spirit.
Hurry, Ezio. The sooner we're done with the doctor, the sooner we can sleep.
You should see the other guy. Follow Federico to the doctor.
Healing services.
Ben trovato, Doctor.
Fratelli Auditori, why am I not surprised? You've made quite a mess of yourself, young man.
It's nothing, really. You must help him. That pretty face is his only asset.
Fottiti.
There we are. Now get out of here.
I love a banter between Federico and Ezio. We have Santa Trinita. Constructed over an existing church in 1258, Santa Trinita, the Holy Trinity, is known for its Sassetti Chapel, which is decorated with frescoes of the life of Saint Francis by Domenico Ghirlandaio, a painter most famous for his brief role as one of Michelangelo's teachers. Santa Trinita was the mother church of the Vallombrosan order of monks, a very serious group that strictly enforced both poverty and silence for life. Despite the beauty of the Santa Trinita frescoes, very few Vallombrosan monks are likely to have seen them, on account of the fact that the monks received beatings for going outside their monasteries. Jesus. So you have to live in poverty and silence, and then you can't go outside of a monastery, otherwise you get beaten. Sounds like a great life to have.
Grazie.
This way.
Doctors. Diagrams of the human body and the printing press influenced Renaissance medicine greatly, which had in turn been influenced by Arabic medicine during the Middle Ages. By the 50th century, science had already begun its slow climb towards becoming more relevant than spirituality in the field of healthcare. However, many people stubbornly clung to old ways, visiting local mystics instead of doctors. After the plague ravaged Europe in 1350, many doctors dressed in special plague gear to treat patients. To prevent contamination, they wore a cape coated in wax and a primitive gas mask in the shape of a bee.
Quite a night.
Indeed. I only wish they were all as much fun. Oh, wait. They are.
We should head home, Ezio. Father's sure to be wondering where we've gone.
Yes. I'd rather avoid a lecture.
Up for a little race, then?
To where?
Roof of that church.
Sibling rivalry. Win the race against Federico.
On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Baby brother still has much to learn. Come on, Tartaruga. Come on then, this way.
Where are you going?
You'll see.
Welcome back, AJ. So very stood.
It is a good life we lead, brother.
The best. May it never change.
And may it never change us. enough of that. We really should head home. Let's go.
Wait.
What? Ezio, let Cristina sleep.
There will be time enough for that. Later.
Ah.
You know, I kind of like about the scene, of course, despite, other than already the really epic and beautiful, you know, Mate Never Change Us part. But Federico's like, we should head home, but when Ezio decides not to, Federico kind of like, you know, stays at the top to kind of like look out for Ezio, basically. You know, he doesn't head home quite yet because he wants to make sure that Ezio isn't getting into more trouble, I guess. AJ the car wouldn't start, so you try to help. Sadly, the fuel pump died, so there's nothing you can do without a new one. That really sucks, dude. I hope it's not gonna be too expensive to repair or replace. Omzio? Yeah, that's him. Nightcap. Pay a surprise visit to the beautiful Cristina Vespucci.
So it's Fiore. Better hide. Keep looking! He couldn't have gotten far!
I gotcha, AJ. Yeah, that's fair. Man, I love the music so much in this game. Casa di Vespucci. Built by the great-great-uncle of a famous Amerigo Vespucci in 1350, the relatively unpresumptuous Vespucci residence is notable for displaying the first painted facade in Florence, a style that was later done to death in the Otranto district.
Cristina! Cristina!
Who's there?
Me!
Oh, Ezio! I should have known.
May I come in?
Fine, but only for a minute.
A minute is all I need.
Indeed.
Well, wait, that came out wrong. Come here.
Oh, Ezio. Oh, Ezio.
Cristina! Cristina! Svelia! Your tutor will be here soon. Come, my daughter. Is it really so terrible that... Figlio d'un cane! What is this?
Perdonate, messere! Chiedo venia!
I'll kill you!
No, that's not necessary.
Guards! Guards! Voglio la sua testa!
No! Move! There's really no need for violence.
Boy. Imagine getting like guards that want to kill you.
You have
or staying at your girlfriend's.
She needed some help with some things. I'm mostly innocent.
Ah, nice. That actually unlocks braces. That's cool. Okay, let's get this viewpoint here. Whoops, sorry.
Yes? Are you blind? Bring me your sick and wounded. Now sweeping a road. Cazzo!
Okay, so we could actually buy some medicine here. Definitely gonna do that.
You should feel better now, but take care in future.
And I guess we could do a race, however, I'm gonna wait naturally until we unlock one. However, increase the climbing speed by giving your character like a flow of climbing up. Something that really increased, like, you know, how fast you can climb and how effective parkour can be sometimes. Like, I took a lot more time to be able to get up here with all the same skills. I don't think we can buy anything from a blacksmith just yet. Every Renaissance community needed a blacksmith. Swords, locks, pens, knives, nails and armor were all made from metal and all needed to be shaped. In addition, architectural ironwork flourished during the Renaissance as blacksmiths began to apply the practical craft towards making art.
Another time, then.
Isn't that dangerous?
Isn't that dangerous? The Palazzo Auditore. Completed in 1473, the Palazzo Auditore is notable for its rusticated stonework and Roman pilasters. Giovanni Auditore designed the palazzo himself based on initial sketches by Leone Battista Alberti. Once built, the palazzo became a fixture of the Santa Maria Novella district. Lorenzo de' Medici mentioned in a later letter addressed to Giovanni dated 1474 that he admired the facade's lack of ostentation. I think we also have another database entry. Or Christina. Born 1459, profession, student and noble. Christina Vespucci was a well-known Florentine beauty and a favorite of painters, most notably Botticelli, who used her as a model for several of his paintings. Records kept by her father's guards indicate Ezio visited her frequently, and that he was unbelievably dexterous, as the guards were never able to catch him trespassing. In addition to her looks, Christina also seems to have been somewhat responsible for jump-starting the career of her cousin, the namesake of a rather famous landmass. At a dinner party attended by Christina and, among other illustrious guests, Lorenzo de' Medici, she was reputed to have been in conversation with Lorenzo and Manfredo Soderini about her cousin's brilliance as a sailor. Well, apparently she exaggerated his importance slightly to impress Lorenzo, and Lorenzo, charmed by her beauty, agreed to hire him. Try Amerigo out. I bet after several years you name him your shipping company after him. She's reported to have joked. Biggest understatement of a century.
Guardate che meraviglia queste spigole!
Art merchants. The shops of Renaissance artists were usually small and dealt mainly in religious decorations for churches or homes. Artists were not considered visionaries as they are today, but were treated merely as craftsmen, just like carpenters and blacksmiths. The production of art was usually cooperative. The head of a shop was the master, who received commissions and oversaw the assembly of a painting. He was expected to be a businessman and turn a profit, usually creating copies of whatever religious paintings were in vogue at the time. We could buy treasure map for son Giovanni.
Addio, not be looking for trouble.
Yeah, we could do that actually. Just gotta steal a little bit of money.
Guardate che tagli di manzo!
Banks. With the advent of double entry bookkeeping, which allowed bankers to keep track of a client's deposits and withdrawals, and the proliferation of many different types of Italian currency into the poor circulation, banks became an essential part of everyday Renaissance life. Banks technically couldn't make money on the money because the Catholic Church forbade the charging of interest, but in practice this restriction wasn't followed by bankers or even by the Vatican, which participated in the banking system and required banks to pay the Pope gifts in proportion to the amount of money he had deposited with him. As long as it isn't called interest, God won't notice, right?
You want it, right?
Grazie. And come again, sir.
Oh, damn, there's quite a few treasures around here. We could get some. The Santa Maria del Fiore, one of Italy's largest churches and the largest landmark in Florence. Santa Maria del Fiore is considered by many to be the first masterpiece of Renaissance architecture. Although the church was designed by Arnolfo di Cambio in 1296, the dome was not started until the beginning of the 50th century. With Cambio long dead, none of the architects at the time had any idea how to construct such an enormous structure, since the use of buttresses was forbidden in Florence and mortar took several days to set. But all was not lost. In an amazing comeback story, Philippo Brunelleschi, an architect who had been defeated in an earlier bid to design the baptistry doors, won the competition to build the dome. He beat out Lorenzo Ghiberti, the same artist he had lost to before. Brunelleschi invented machines to hoist the bricks needed for the dome up to the workers, and was able to construct the entire dome without using centering, the support structure to hold the dome in place while bricks were laid. Containing over 4 million bricks, the dome was completed in 1436. The lantern was added after Brunelleschi's death in 1446, and supposedly contains holy relics. However, there were several rumors that in fact an entire tomb of unknown origin is located inside, which is kind of like a hint towards the tomb you find later on within the church. I like how these places are not guarded yet, because usually they actually are, although they aren't this early into the game.
Whoa, it's a normal way to live.
found the Bottega di Leonardo a Firenze. Leonardo da Vinci opened his own studio after completing his apprenticeship to Verrocchio, one of the most successful Florentine artists of the day. Between 1476 and 1481, Leonardo probably continued to collaborate with Verrocchio, although no one is quite sure what he was working on. In 1481, he was given his first commission by the monks of San Donato a Scopetto to paint the Adoration of the Magi. In true Da Vinci style, he began the painting, but never finished it.
Such unbelievable prices I have for you, stimati clienti. You will say I am quite fun.
Bene. Now I have a way back up in case I fall.
He'll break something we eat.
Bene. The way up in case I fall. First, what's ever, AJ? I hope you have a good time playing some D&D. Thanks again for dropping by and, checking out some AC action. And, yeah, hope you have a good time with the game. I think we gotta get down here.
In città non c'è di meglio! Cavoli! Il miglior manzo stagionato!
Has he been drinking? Has he been drinking?
Pesce fresco, sempre fresco!
And thank you for a shout out there to AJ Hero.
This man is a cheat and a liar!
So AJ is actually also streaming currently. He's doing some Pokemon runs at the moment. So last he's been playing some Fire Red and Leaf Green. He also has done kind of like randomizer runs as well before. So if that's something you're into, then definitely check that out. He's also been streaming some AC before. He's also a fan of that series, so check it out if you haven't yet. Giovanni Auditore, born 1436, profession, banker, advisor, noble. Giovanni Auditore was one of the pivotal figures in the 50th century Florentine banking. In charge of overseeing the Medici bank branches across Italy, he kept the Medici machines running while Lorenzo was busy with the government. Extending his reach out into the international operation, it was Giovanni who first noticed the problems with the Leon bank, causing him to alert Francesco Sassetti, which saved the branch. Such great talent was well rewarded by Il Magnifico. Giovanni developed a close friendship with Lorenzo de' Medici, becoming one of his closest advisors. Successful negotiations to secure the Pope's support of the Medici Bank in 1471 were carried out by Giovanni. Relieved and grateful, Lorenzo paid for Giovanni's palazzo as a gift. So that explains why the Auditore family is living a bit more luxurious with the building, because they literally got it gifted by, the ruler of Florence, essentially.
Good morning, Father.
Come with me.
Is something wrong?
Do you think me blind and deaf, son? I know all about your fight with Vieri di Pazzi last night, and then this little visit to Cristina. Your behavior is unacceptable. It reminds me of myself when I was your age. I assume these misadventures won't interfere with your work today.
No, Padre. Avete la mia parola.
I've prepared some documents here for Lorenzo di Medici to review. I need them delivered to him.
With haste, Father.
Return to me when it's done.
Of the relationship, you know, how Giovanni's like not punishing Ezio, but rather saying, you know, when I was your age, I wasn't so much different, so I get it. Paperboy. Deliver Giovanni's letter to Lorenzo de Medici.
Al magnifico Lorenzo di Medici, mio protettore e amico. I have done as requested and completed my investigation into the Milano incident. I can confirm for you that it extends far beyond dissatisfaction with Duca Galeazzo Sforza's rule. It is my belief that other parties, desirous of far greater gains, manipulated events in such a way as to achieve their goals without being revealed themselves. Lampugnani, Olgiati, and Visconti are guilty of the crime, to be sure. And they have met fitting ends for their betrayal. But several other noble families are implicated as well, our own Francesco de Pazzi among them. Their cause and motive is not yet clear to me, but initial findings indicate a plan, the scope of which is sure to disturb you. Best we continue this conversation in person, as I am hesitant to put my suspicion to paper. Reply with a place and time, and I will meet you there. I have also ordered Francesco be held by the Gonfaloniere until we can clear up this matter. Yours in confidence, Giovanni.
So basically connects to the story of Assassin's Creed Lineage and the whole conspiracy that Giovanni is finding out about, right? He tells Lorenzo de Medici within the letter.
My recent good fortune finding new suppliers.
If you ever hear songs so sick you get up out of your chair because of how hype it made you, definitely do it, yeah. I've been there. Doesn't happen quite as often, but it definitely does happen every now and then. But yeah, dude, if you wanna share it on Discord or something, I'm always down to listen to some new music. Gotta get all that moneta.
The citizens of Pisa
have held a mass demonstration, once again sending Firenze a message of contempt. The city's youth apparently gathered and bared their posteriors at our honorable delegation.
Very important news here. These guys will take us on sight. Rather not get in trouble right now.
Ah, Ezio, ben trovato. How are you?
Come sempre. I have a letter for Messer Lorenzo.
I'll see that he receives it when he returns.
Returns?
They've gone to Villa Careggi, I'm afraid, and not expected back for at least another day.
I'll let my father know.
That kind of explains why Lorenzo Da Vinci wasn't there to kind of like stop what's gonna happen to Ezio's family. Because he's literally like out of town when all of that is taking place. But that's of course planned by the conspirators. Since we know that Lorenzo and Giovanni are huge allies of each other.
Keep up the good work.
Bischero.
You worry too much, Giovanni. Francesco Di Pazzi's in prison. The threat is ended.
Yeah, of course. Eva Bailey, welcome back. Indeed, yeah. Yeah, finished with AC1 now, and now we're on to AC2. Also watched the short movie for this game earlier. But yeah, now we're directly at the start of this wonderful, wonderful game. So playing as young Ezio.
Hello, son. You remember my friend Ube?
Good morning, Gonfaloniere Alberti.
To you as well, young man.
I trust you delivered the message.
Si, padre. But it seems Lorenzo is out of town.
I did not anticipate this.
What does it matter? So you wait another day or two.
Listen, your mother and sister have been looking for you. I'll need you again in a little while, but for now, see if you can't help them.
Are you sure?
Yes, now if you'll excuse us.
Good to see you, Ezio.
I love how this game takes the time to explore the character before it delves into the action. Exactly, dude. Yeah, me too. I think it's good that it kind of like really tries to show the relationship that Ezio has to his family members, because it also makes you as a player kind of like attached to the family, right? So losing some of them feels like more impactful overall. Okay, I think we're gonna start with Petruccio, because he's the youngest and he has to be in bed because he actually has a condition. Date of birth 1463, profession, student and noble. The youngest of the Auditore children, Petruccio was described as having a weak constitution by Giovanni Auditore in a letter to Lorenzo de' Medici soon after the boy's birth. Apparently he didn't improve with time. Petruccio was pulled from school due to illness when he was 12, and according to records from the family doctor, was confined to bed. No other data exists after that, so it's probable that he eventually succumbed to his illness. Yeah, that isn't quite what happened, but it's what history believes happened.
What are you doing out here, Petruccio? You should be in bed.
I want those feathers.
What for?
It's a secret.
If I get them for you, will you go back inside?
Yes, I promise.
Petruccio's secret. Obtain eagle feathers for Petruccio before he gets in trouble for sneaking out of bed. That's kind of funny. Like, a lot of people think it's a bit odd that you have to get the feathers so he goes like back to bed, because also, like, you know, the middle of the day, and you kind of like assume that it's like way too early, you know, even for a 12-year-old. Of course, it's not really about like the time of the day, it's that he's actually confined to bed because of his condition. But because it's like in the middle of the night or something.
Here, as promised.
Grazie, brother.
You still haven't told me why you want these.
I will. In time.
Claudia Auditore. Born 1461, profession, student and noble. The third child of Giovanni and Maria Auditore and the first girl in the family. Claudia seems to have been a bit of a spoiled brat. It looks like her parents had to raise her dowry by 1,000 florins after she scared away all her potential suitors. A report from her school indicates she once attacked another girl for looking at her boyfriend and knocked her out cold. On the plus side, she's Ezio's sister, so you should be safe. So, she's not easy to deal with, I guess.
Hey, Claudia. How are you?
Bene.
You shouldn't keep things from me.
It's Duccio.
What of him?
I think he's been unfaithful.
Who told you this?
The other girls. I thought they were my friends.
Harpies. You're better off without them.
I loved him.
No, Claudia. You only thought you did.
He should suffer for what he's done.
Wait here. I'll go have a word with him.
Beat a cheat. Find and punish Duccio. So, Duccio is kind of a funny character because he reappears throughout all of the Ezio games. So you can also beat him up in Brotherhood and in Revelations. It's kind of funny, like he's a recurring character just to be beaten up every time he meets Ezio.
Provate le mie salsicce!
It's a face you just want to hit, yeah, basically. Giotto's Campanile. Begun by Giotto di Bondone, the famous architect and painter, in 1334, his famous Gothic bell tower was incomplete when Giotto died. Andrea Pisano took over, and then in 1348 was felled by the Black Death. In 1359, the tower was completed by Francesco Talenti, who deviated from Giotto's plan in his design of the upper 3 floors. He enlarged each floor to match the previous according to perspective, so when seen from below, all 3 floors seems to be exactly the same size. The tower is clad with white marble from Carrara, red marble from Siena, and green marble from Prato. It takes exactly 414 steps to reach the top, perhaps predicting Charles Messias' discovery of the Whirlpool galaxy exactly 414 years later, or, you know, perhaps not. He always have a face on his girlfriend in direction to Ezio. Yeah. Me too. I think it's actually well done. Like, obviously the facial animations don't have like best textures or like the most details, but I think they really bring over the emotion that need to be, you know, need to be shown. But also about the gestures as well.
Duccio! It's beautiful!
Nothing but the best for you, amore mio.
But what of Claudia? I thought you'd been promised to her.
The father said I could do much better than an auditore.
Ah! Birbante! Come, let us walk a bit.
What? I had something else in mind.
Oh, Duccio.
Hey, lurido porco!
Ezio, my friend. Ah! Ma che te piglia?
You insult my sister, parading around with this puttana.
What are you talking about?
I saw the gift you gave her, or the things you said.
Maybe your sister shouldn't be so stingy with her virtù.
You broke her heart.
Ha! And now I'm going to break your face.
Not really.
You auditores all talk big, but when it comes time for action, ha!
You'll regret ever opening your mouth.
I could have taught your sister a great many things. She's lucky to have had someone like me.
Bastardo! Hurry up! I have to meet...
Basta! Mi arrendo!
Stay away from my sister!
I like how the taunt that Ezio was saying was basically, hurry up, I need to meet a lady friend. It's the most fitting kind of like insult / taunt of that fight. Alright, nice. Now we unlocked the beat-ups. Okay, let's actually try to climb the tower. Can't really jump over here. Oops. I believe this is actually the second highest viewpoint in Florence, and it's much easier to get it with the kind of like grab leap ability, but you can also do it without, I think. Alright, there we go. Could say that's quite a bit high. I think that's also the Palazzo Auditor we see down there, isn't it? Yeah, must be. Yeah, I mean, that's fair waffle. Definitely been there to kind of like, you know, pull over and take care of a music situation or something. It's like priorities. Gotta have some good music on when you're driving.
Warns members to avoid the ventivoglios of Bologna. Important defaults suffered by an esteemed member have led to this draconian measure, which will persist until satisfaction is received.
We actually have a beat up and a career mission. Might do these first, actually.
Get this to its destination fast. Really fast. I'll pay you well.
Casanova. Deliver these 2 letters to guarded recipients. From Raphael 2. My beloved, how can I live without you? I cannot work, I simply idle away, imagining your face. The fact that your husband has locked you away behind cold walls sickens me. You are a budding older woman. You should have the privilege to feel my sweet kisses, like a gentle wind caressing your soft petals. Yet finally it is Friday when he goes off to sea. Oh happy day, and still happier night. Come when the sky rains with sparkling stars, come find me and jump into my arms. At midnight I will be waiting at our special spot. Yours forever, Raphael. And we got the first letter he's written. And it's basically the same letter. Only this time it's a budding young woman instead of an old woman. So he wrote the same letter to 2 different women, hoping that one of them will kind of say yes. Thank you for sharing, Waffle. Yeah, if you don't mind, could you also post that on Discord? Because then I would also have a chance later to check it out. Since I can't play music on stream, unfortunately. At least not DMCA music.
Oh, grazie.
Grazie. I guess you are the young woman? She looks quite young. Yeah, sounds good, dude. Yeah, she's definitely got it.
What's he doing? Maybe it was not.
He'd better
Albi.
What's he doing? Haven't I seen you before?
Grazie.
Grazie.
Might have to deal.
I've traditional remedies, and they wisdom of the Arabic.
Another condottiere.
Then we also have a beat-up event.
Please better not be looking for trouble.
That faithless husband of mine is cheating. I know it, as do all the neighbors. Please teach him a lesson for me.
The woman scorned. Beat up a cheating husband. With pleasure.
There! On him! I've lost sight. I see him! There!
Oh, hold on. It's actually treasure. Eva Ginnick, welcome in. Yeah, I love AC2. It's like it's actually my favorite game of all time. Glad to hear you also enjoy the game a lot. Okay, there he is. You know I've asked this before, but have I ever played Halo? You can't remember. I haven't actually played Halo, at least not like story stuff or something. I played a little bit at friends, like online, but never like for a long time. So I wouldn't really say I've played Halo before.
There!
Don't
On
hurt
him!
me, please!
Tornado! She wins! I give up! That bitch! I mean, wonderful wife of mine! I'll go home!
I'll go home. Yeah, you go home. But yeah, eventually I definitely check out Halo as well. I know it's been praised quite a lot by a few. And I guess the remasters would make it also much more pleasant to play.
He must have you Takasaki moving like that.
Maria Auditore, born 1432, profession, writer, noble. Quote, I grew tired of these walls that surround me and I am bored with safety. Now is the time to make a decision. I will go out there and see what my life may truly be. Maria wrote these words when she was 16, a week before she met Giovanni Auditore. Born into the powerful banking family the Mozzi, Maria is one of the most famous historical sources of the time period due to her multi-volume diary, which has been translated by several notable scholars and is on display in the Uffizi Gallery in Florence. With funding from her parents, Maria opened up a bakery in the courtyard of the family palazzo, which she transformed into an artistic gathering palace, a place. It was there that she met a man with such conviction I felt myself rooted to the spot, unable to look anywhere else. That man was Giovanni Auditore. Maria and Giovanni were married in 1450. Maria's diary entries continues for the next few decades, describing her patronage of several up-and-coming artists, into trials as a mother, at which point she abruptly abandons her writing, to the disappointment of historians everywhere. But yeah, that's of course because she focused more on the family, and of course also what happens to the family later on. You're dying to get a new game, just gotta wait till you get back to work. Yeah, that's fair, but as I'm the best said, I don't know if it's an option for you. But even though I had Game Pass before, I got the offer to get it for like $1 essentially. Like for, each month for like 3 months straight. So I've been getting Game Pass recently as well, and Halo Infinite is on there. So that's a way you could get it and play it.
Buongiorno, Ezio.
Buongiorno a voi, madre. Come state?
Sto bene. And you? Still recovering from last night?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Of course not. Anyway, I have an errand to run. I'd like you to join me.
Con piacere.
Come, it's not far from here.
You think of doing the Game Pass conversion trick? 3 years for $400 cheaper? Holy shit, dude. I haven't heard of that trick before. So do you kind of like change the location from which you buy Game Pass, or how does that kind of like work? Friend of the family. Help Maria with her errand.
I know about your fight with Fiore.
What fight?
Per piacere. Let's not play this game.
He spoke ill of us. I could not allow him to continue.
I'm sure he's having a hard time dealing with the accusations against his father. Francesco di Pazzi is many things, and none of them good. But even I never suspected he'd be capable of murder.
What will happen to him?
I imagine there will be a trial.
Will father speak at it?
He'll have to. He's the one with the evidence.
Still, I wish there was another way.
You've nothing to fear. Everyone wants justice done. It is an unfortunate state of affairs, but it will pass.
Ah, damn hero. That's quite the saving, to say the least.
Here we are. Hello, Leonardo.
Madonna Maria.
This is my son, Ezio.
Molto onorato.
L'onore è mio.
Let me go and fetch the paintings. I'll be right back.
He's very talented.
Immagino.
Self-expression is vital to understanding and enjoying life. You should find an outlet.
I have plenty of outlets.
I meant besides vaginas.
Mother.
Back to your house, then.
Si. Ezio, help Leonardo, will you?
That conversation. I have plenty of outlets. Jose Mohammed, welcome in. Thank you for the follow.
So Ezio, what do you do?
Leonardo Da Vinci, born 1452, profession, painter, inventor, designer, architect, scientist, and engineer. The illegitimate son of a notary and a peasant woman, Leonardo da Vinci was raised in Tuscany. Like many destined to be superstars, he had no surname, Vinci being the town in which he was born. At the age of 14, he was apprenticed to the Florentine painter Verrocchio, who taught him chemistry, drafting, painting, sculpting, and modeling. When he was only 20, Leonardo established his own workshop and then traveled across Italy, eventually painting his great masterpieces The Last Supper in 1498 and the Mona Lisa in 1503-7. During his travels, Leonardo studied the world with unquenchable curiosity, recording his observations in mirror writing within his notebooks. He created designs for helicopter, tanks, solar power, and the calculator, among others. He was also an engineer, designing garrisons, cannons, and movable barricades. Despite this epic list of accomplishments, Leonardo was hounded by his patrons for his chronic procrastination. Pieces frequently took years longer than he anticipated, and many were never finished at all. Leonardo also had a tumultuous love life. Accused of sodomy in 1476, he was most likely homosexual. Salai, his assistant, was accused of stealing and spending too much money on clothes, but was also probably Leonardo's lover. Leonardo painted several pictures of Salai, including his famous Saint John the Baptist, and left the Mona Lisa to him when he died in 1519. And Salai is also kind of like featured in the Brotherhood DLC, the Da Vinci disappearance. And in that it's also revealed that Leonardo indeed had a relationship with Salai. But because of restraints of the time, they couldn't have an open relationship, I guess. Wasn't possible.
He's been working for his father.
Ah, you're to be a banker.
For now. And you, art was it?
Truth be told, it's been difficult for me to settle. Painting is nice, but I often feel like my work lacks, I don't know, a purpose. Does that make sense? I'd rather contribute more practically, more directly. Architecture, perhaps, or anatomy. I'm not content merely to capture the world. I want to change it.
Oh, Leonardo, I have no doubt you'll go on to do great things.
Vi ringrazio, Madonna. That's kind of you.
And he will. Yeah, Leonardo was such a great side character. I was kind of bummed he wasn't in Revelations, but he also had a lot of him in both 2 and Brotherhood, so I was feeling they definitely paid justice to the character. But yeah, in general, I kind of wished some characters would reappear, both in Brotherhood and Revelations. I always ask myself where a lot of the Venice people were during kind of the time of Rome and Brotherhood.
Thank you for your help, son. Don't let me keep you from your other duties.
It was nice to meet you, Ezio. I hope our paths cross again.
Anch'io.
Ezio, come in, son. I need these packages delivered to associates of mine in the city. I also need you to retrieve a message for me from a pigeon coop not too far from here.
Va bene. I'll get it done.
Come back here when you're finished. There are some things we need to discuss. And please, my son, stay out of trouble.
Special delivery. Deliver 2 letters and retrieve a third from the pigeon coop for Giovanni. Then return to him. Yeah, that's one thing that always bothers me a little bit when they kind of take away skills that you learned naturally. Also in AC1, right, you started as a master assassin, and it makes sense that you don't have some skills like not being able to have throwing knives or hidden or the short blade or something. But it doesn't make sense that you would lose, for example, the grab ledge or the counter ability or dodging and stuff like that, Ati already had learned all of those things at the start, but it's of course for gameplay reasons to give you a sense of progress, but it does make a whole lot of sense, logically. Giovanni has received this letter. It would be wrong to open it. same here.
Assaggiate I miei insaccati!
What's with him?
Yeah, definitely one of those instances where justification doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
You Giovanni's kid?
No, idiota. He just happens to look exactly like the man.
Give it here. Don't worry, boy. We're not contagious. At least I'm not.
Yeah, dude, like the writing for the side characters in AC2 is just so good. Ghost Like Cover is like a good balance between like serious and funny moments, like also quotes. Nice. Our first feather. Oh yeah. So for this playthrough, we're actually gonna be collecting all the 100 feathers. So we also unlock the secret dialogue with both Mario and Maria.
Here, over here. I have a delivery from...
Giovanni Auditor?
Yes.
Were you followed?
No. Why would I be followed?
Give me the package. Tell your father that they're moving tonight. He should as well.
Who's moving? What's going on here? Wait, come back! Explain yourself!
Mercenaries were highly mobile in Renaissance Italy, moving from one contract to contract. Professional captains called condottieri, usually paid for by cities, recruited men for a fixed amount of time. Many of the for-hire soldiers who served in Italy weren't even Italian, coming from places like Germany, Switzerland, and Hungary. In their perpetual struggle to dominate Italy, the Italian states hired mercenaries to wage war against their Italian neighbors, and the soldiers, many of whom had no code of honor, would often rape and sack freely. When the state that was bankrolling them ran out of money, the soldiers would disband, frequently to be hired to destroy the very city they had just fought to defend. Some mercenaries were honorable, fighting for a cause they believed in, but men such as these were few and far between. Where they existed, however, they were much sought after. So yeah, that's only in Brotherhood actually with the feathers. And in Brotherhood, of course, you can replay the missions, so it's not like too much of a biggie if you miss some. But yeah, I haven't decided if I'm gonna get all of them in Brotherhood. But in AC2 we can just focus on the cities. Palazzo della Signoria. Arnolfo di Cambio designed the Palazzo della Signoria, also known as the Palazzo Vecchio, in 1299 for the rulers of Florence, the Signoria. The Signoria was made up of 9 members or priori, selected by the city's guilds, 2 from each district, and the Gonfaloniere of Justice. Members were supposed to be chosen by lot, but once the Medici family took power, only their friends seemed to end up in the drawing. Government by the people, right? Interesting fact, the tower in front is off-center because it was incorporated into the palazzo from an earlier structure. It contains 2 small cells, one of which was used to imprison Cosimo de' Medici. My favorite tomb in all of the Ezio trilogy? Damn, that's a tough one. It's a really tough one. I mean, to be honest, I really enjoy the Auditor crypt a lot because of the story that it tells. But it's not the best like gameplay wise. But story wise it's definitely my favorite because obviously it's the only one focusing on telling a story. But other than that, I like the Maiden's Tower a lot in Revelations. But also the one that had like the 4 different parkour puzzles in AC2. Don't know the name right now, but the one that had like 4 different directions you had to go in. I think those would be like my favorites. What about you? Okay, let's go up here. Let's get the viewpoint. Ah, okay, gotcha. Yeah, that's also one of my favorites actually. I like the feeling for the height that you get when doing it. Yeah, Rod is still frequently over here. However, it's usually this time that he's kind of like sleeping. Because it's like, I think in the middle of the night or like early morning in Australia right now. But yeah, I think like in, let's see, I think in about 2 to 4 hours he's probably gonna go live, I would assume. You guys remember the Visitazione Secret Tomb? I remember the name, but I can't really, not really sure what the tomb was actually like right now. I'm really bad with names actually. I don't remember how that one was. And yeah, for sure it's easy. Always a good time spending at Rod's. Nice. You have a race and also a codex page. It's the hardest one of the trilogy. Ah, okay, I gotcha.
I can outrun anyone in this distretto. I hear you the best. Prove it.
You're playing some Unity circuit. Hell yeah. What are you doing in Unity currently? Florentine Sprint. Bet you can't beat my record. But I can. Renaissance thieves are usually wanderers who could vanish at the first sign of trouble, making it hard for guards to track them. Black market business in Renaissance Italy was booming. Muggings in the major cities were fairly common, as were murders. Often strollers were attacked in the dead of night, killed, robbed, and then rowed into the nearest river or canal. Even if a thief merely stole, rather than killed, the penalties of court were often unduly harsh. Torture was common. Thieves were put in stocks and sometimes even publicly executed. In order to avoid punishment, thieves often created bonds of trust amongst each other. Each was supposed to tell the rest of his dirty secrets, which meant that each thief potentially held his comrades' lives in his hands. Chests and collectibles. Oh yeah, dude. There's quite a few of them in Unity, am I right?
Haven't I seen you before? Another golden kid. I've seen him before. Where did he go?
Come, good folk, see the latest designs from the greatest designer, me.
The greatest designer, me.
Luigi, the fish merchant of San Marco, wishes it be known throughout the città. None can beat his prices or the freshness of his stone. Why would you shame yourself this way, idiota?
Yes, Izzy, what is it? Actually buy some like other treasure maps? Yeah, I can't.
Next time, yes?
Ooh, dye my ropes black. I mean, I'm definitely gonna be switching between the different color dyes, but I definitely won't be getting to 40 today, so not sure when that's gonna happen. But if you happen to be there when I am in 40, I can definitely dye my ropes like that and you know, showcase it and stuff.
Father? Federico!
Serezio! Thank God!
What happened? Where is everyone?
They took your father and brothers to the Palazzo della Signoria, to prison.
And my mother? My sister?
Ezio.
Claudia? Are you alright?
Yes, but Mother... She's in shock. When she resisted...
It's not safe here. Is there some place you can take them?
Yes, to my sisters.
Good, do that. In the meantime, I'll go see my father.
Be careful, Messer Ezio. The guards were looking for you as well.
Jailbird. Reach Giovanni's cell at the top of the Palazzo della Signoria and find out why he has been imprisoned. I gotcha, easy. Yeah, for sure, I can definitely do that eventually. Once we get to Folly.
State attenti! As a consequence of the flooding further up the Arno, a small tax shall be imposed for
We have the Loggia dei Lanzi, built between 1376 and 1382 by Benci de Chione and Simone di Francesco Talenti. The Loggia dei Lanzi was created to provide a covering for the swearing in of the members of the Signoria, the rulers of Florence. In the 60th century, the Medici had a private balcony constructed on top, making it clear to the city of Florence who was really in charge. Yeah, I don't know, I really like the white look in Brotherhood. It's definitely kind of like, you know, the canon look. But also really enjoy the Onyx look as well. Like, the Onyx might actually be my favorite color scheme for Brotherhood. Have like a mix of like black and blue. And a bit of white accents. I wanna give it pepper here.
What's his problem? Why can't he walk like everyone else?
Why can't he walk? What the fuck, Ezio? What are you doing? The Revelations also had really good color schemes, I felt. Definitely fun to mix it up there. I also like the different outfits that you have in Revelations. Like the one you get from the Master Assassin. Kinda forgot the name of it right now, but that one I really like with the mask that Ezio also gets. Kinda like the idea of disguising your entire face, you know, being an assassin and all.
There! Don't lose him! Damn it! He's getting away! There! Per merda! Come! Let me disembowel you!
I think that's the Ishak Pasha outfit, isn't it? One way I have to get the scrolls. That's the one I also meant, I think, with the mask.
Ezio! Father! What's happened?
Took a bit of a beating, but I'm alright. What of your mother and sister?
Safe now.
Annetta took them.
Yes. Wait. You knew this would happen?
Not the way it did, and not this soon. Doesn't matter now.
What do you mean? Explain!
There's no time. Listen closely. Return to the house. In my office is a hidden door. Use your talent to find it. Beyond lies a chest. Take everything you find inside. Much of it may seem strange to you, but all of it is important. Do you understand?
Yes.
Good. Among the contents is a letter, and with it some documents. I need you to take these documents to Mr. Roberto. He was with me in the office this morning.
The Gonfalonieri, I remember. Now please, tell me what's happening. Are the Pazzi behind this? There was a note for you at the pigeon. It said,
go, Ezio. Go now.
Oh boy. That's the last time that Giovanni and Ezio ever talk to each other. Yeah, dude, Vlad the Impaler's sword is so good. I love how it actually has unique animations for killing the enemies. Makes it quite unique in regards to other swords.
Pray for his recovery and the confinement of the dread death to the small...
Family Heirloom. Recover Giovanni's documents and deliver them to Alberto Alberti.
Father said there was a door here.
have to bring this to Messer Roberto.
Such an epic soundtrack right there. Love that variation of Ezio's family and Earth as well. But yeah, that's how we get the outfit of the assassin. Take it from Giovanni's box and also the contents inside, and now it's time to bring it to the traitor. Unfortunately. But not even Giovanni thought that Roberto would do this.
Traditore!
Hey, what's with the swords? Aren't you supposed to arrest me?
No.
What do you want then?
For you to die!
Well, that's not going to happen. So why don't we explore other options?
There are no other options!
Well then. Yes, you gotta die then.
My God, has his mind snapped?
Ooh, there's never. Ever. Is he never one?
And rejuvenate. Notice to all foreign merchants.
There's another one as well, but it's actually out of our area. We can explore currently.
Good Fragnato wishes to remind.
Ooh, never. Good job, dude. Oh. He just jumped to his death. He was like, there's no way for me to survive this. Goodbye. The cruel word. Jump up here. And never feather. We're getting there. Not sure if I can even access this one, but I'm gonna try. Oh yeah. Let's have a quick look into our DNA. Florence. Okay, so we got 5 out of 9 in the San Giovanni district. You bought some beer from a shop earlier and handed him what you thought was 2 5-pound notes, and he kept staring at you. You was what's enough, where it turns out it was 1 5er ripped in half. Ah, damn. Yeah, that would be confusing to the cashier. Like, sorry dude, are you trying to rip me off here? But yeah, that sucks, dude. You got enough money still. Pay for the beer.
Ezio Auditore? What are you doing here at this hour? I don't... Wait, child. Take a breath. Collect your thoughts.
My father and brothers have been imprisoned. I was told to bring you this.
Ah. I see now. It's a misunderstanding, Ezio. I'll clear everything up.
How?
The documents you've given me contain evidence of a conspiracy against your family and against the city. I'll present these papers at their hearing in the morning, and they'll be released.
Thank you, Signore.
Of course, my child. Do you need a place to stay? You're more than welcome here.
No, grazie. I'll meet you at the piazza.
Don't worry, Ezio. Everything is going to be fine.
Yeah, everything is going to be fine.
Price is so low, you won't believe your eyes. Just take a look.
Yeah, exactly, Waffle. You should become like a trailer narrator or something.
Does there something ail you, friend?
Last man standing. 10th the acquittal of Petruccio, Giovanni, and Federico. Yeah, what I love about AC2 specifically is like also how cinematic the game has become, right? But yeah, also like graphical, gameplay wise, just a big evolution.
Giovanni Auditor! You and your accomplices stand accused of the crime of treason. Have you any evidence to counter this charge?
Yes, the documents that were delivered to you last night!
I'm afraid I know nothing of these documents.
He's lying!
Need to get closer.
In the absence of any compelling evidence to the contrary, I am bound to pronounce you guilty. You and your collaborators are hereby sentenced to death.
You are the traitor, Roberto, and one of them! You may take our lives this day, but we will have yours in return, I swear! We will!
Father! There! Grab the boy! He's one of them!
I'll kill you for what you've done!
Guards! Arrest him!
Abatetelo. Better run, boy. Fast.
Get him!
that memory always hits so hard. Like, you know, seeing Ezio being like totally helpless against what happens to his brothers and his father, like. Yeah, especially seeing Petruccio, you know, who's just a child at this point, like being hanged. Just so heartbreaking.
I've got a little request for you. I've identified several strange markings that I've discovered right across Renaissance Italy. Now, I don't know what they're doing there, but I want you to help me find out. Rebecca has marked their general location in the database with an eye icon, and she's made them glow as well. Keep an eye out.
Yeah, really nothing that Ezio could have done there.
Ser Ezio, thank God. I've been looking everywhere for you.
I couldn't stop them, Annetta. I tried, I swear. But there were so many guards.
Please, come with me. We need to get you off the streets.
What of my mother and sister?
They're safe. I'll bring you to them.
No. It's too dangerous for us to travel together. Tell me where to go and I'll meet you there.
My sister's house. Just north of the Duomo.
I'm on my way.
Annetta. Born 1457, profession, servant. The Auditor family's live-in servant, Annetta had one of a few respectable jobs allowed lower-class Renaissance women. Rich families seldom had more than 1 or 2 servants. Most were young, sometimes children. Many hoped their masters would help their raise their standing, but usually turnover was rapid. Ultimately, very little is known about Annetta's life. She passed on without making a mark in history. Now the entire Palazzo De Torta is basically guarded, and Ezio has no way of getting back inside into his home. It's the last time it's really... before that it was the last time that he was like actually at home. Always has to like leave it behind. But yeah, I still remember when I first played AC2, you know, and how much I could relate to kind of like Ezio's feelings. Because you really get attached to his family, you know, even if you only spend like a short amount of time, like a few hours with him at the start. But it's enough to really make you kind of like care for Ezio and them.
Where do you think he's from?
And him losing, you know, his family, and especially his like youngest brother. Like for me, you know, I could immediately feel the rage that Ezio was feeling, but also kind of like the despair, you know, of not like being able to do anything about it. But also the feeling of betrayal, you know, by Uberto, somebody that his family thought they could trust. I was born 94, Zizi, so I was like 15 when this game came out, and yeah, I played it like a lot when it came out. I think it also helped for me that I was like roughly the same age that Ezio was. So him starting out as a teenager is kind of like definitely relatable. Art's favorite game as well. Yeah, same here, dude. Like not only my favorite AC game, but also like my favorite game of all time. But it's also very subjective, and I'm very well aware of it. But yeah, just kind of like special to me. Like I literally played it over and over when it came out, because to me it felt like not only like a really good game, but also like a really good story that almost felt like a movie at times. And yeah, I remember just really enjoying that so much. Kind of the cinematic aspect of it. Alright, let's get a view point. But yeah, after that we will actually call for tonight, because it's getting quite late over here and I've been streaming for a long time. But yeah, it's been great, you know, getting back into AC2, also finishing AC1 and watching AC Lineage. Been a great AC evening with lots of different kind of content. But yeah, that means we're gonna get back to AC probably on... I mean, if I really feel like it, maybe even tomorrow. But I actually intended to play Need for Speed tomorrow, so I'm just gonna go with what I feel like playing, I guess, and what, you know, I'm currently up to. But yeah, if I'm not playing AC tomorrow, then definitely on Tuesday. So Tuesday will be the latest day. We're gonna come back to AC2 and more of the story.
Funny clothes.
But yeah, very, very excited to continue doing the completionist run here. So your top 5 is AC2, Skyrim, Dark Souls 3, Spider-Man, PS1 2000 and Spyro 2. Interesting. I haven't played that Spider-Man game yet, but I was actually curious to check out like the older Spider-Man games ever since I played the 2018 game. Because obviously like so many different games kind of like tried out the whole like swinging aspect, and yeah, we're kind of like curious to see how the games have done it, I guess. But yeah guys, this is what we're gonna call it for today, so let me go ahead and exit to Windows here. And yeah, then we're gonna have a look who's online, because of course we're gonna raid out as always. So let me have a look who's online. Oh nice, I do see playing catch up, playing some Life is Strange. Let me just check if he's actually yeah, he's still actively playing, so I reckon he's not gonna jump off immediately. Yeah, good to see you too, Zizi. Thank you again for coming by and for keeping me company. The very Waffle, I hope you have a good rest later and a good night. Thanks again for coming by as well. And I hope you get to find your wallet back as well, dude. Wish you all the best with that search. And yes, indeed, we're gonna be live tomorrow, either with AC2 or with Need for Speed Heat, so it's gonna be one of the two games. But yeah, gonna be like my evening time, so should be early morning for you in the United States. No worries, Hero. Indeed, yeah. I'm kind of like been taking a break from multiplayer Mondays in favor of retro Sundays. Reason being that I don't know, I kind of like want to focus more on single player games again, and having like an extra day for like old school games that I hadn't like checked out before, or that I hadn't played in like ages. It's kind of like my reason for doing like retro Sundays for now. But multiplayer Mondays are definitely guaranteed to come back. But yeah, just taking like a hiatus for, I don't know, a couple of weeks to months until I want to get back to it. Forgot to update you've ever found it in the yard. It's here. Oh, that's awesome, Waffle. Oh yeah, that's good. I'm glad that you guys found it. Still kind of weird that the manager said at that station that they should just tell you they didn't have it. Kinda suspicious, but oh well. At least you found it. But yeah, Hero, you have a good one as well, dude. Thanks again for dropping by as well. And everybody else as well who was in here tonight. Thanks to all the follows at Mohammed, Sarim, Loni, Zockerboy, Eliza, Ferdam. Yeah, thank you guys so much for the follows today. Selcat, thank you for the biddies. And Demise, thank you also again for the raid, as well as LCS as well. With a party of 4 and 20. And yeah, everybody else who was in here lurking, chatting, and just, you know, being here watching. Thank you all so much. I hope I get to catch you tomorrow for some more AC2 Only for Speed. And until then, take it care, take it easy, and take care. My brain is tired. I've been on for too long, I think. Yeah, see you tomorrow, Waffle. Take care, Sacred. Have a good night. Hope you enjoy Unity.